Alrighty. Great afternoon, great people. Making sure I'm all set up here. And I'm going to share this video as I await just a few minutes to start sharing. I have some great information and write this down. There we go. Alright. Okay, I am going to pull up my notes here. Yeah, I'm trying to do better in 2024 because you all know I will just speak off the cuff, and I'm pretty sure there will be some of that. Um, but I am determined to start writing my things down so I can replicate this information. So that's already a tip I'm sharing with you, fabulous nonprofit leaders, to write the notes down. It's, I think social media technology has spoiled us, but capturing our thoughts before we share them is simple, but how we shy away from the simple sometimes. And if you are plugged in right now, I graciously ask that you would share this to fellow nonprofit leaders, fellow individuals that are working to support nonprofits, as well as anyone that you think will benefit. This information will be great for school leaders, also uh, just various community leaders in the faith-based space, and I'm trying to think of, am I hitting philanthropy, nonprofit, schools, the whole deal. And if you would share this, post to excuse me, share this live video uh, as well. You don't have to share it on your social media feed, but if you could directly inbox people, especially if you are at work and tuning in, even though, most of us are supposed to be working at this time, or you may be on lunch. That's exactly, it's 12 o'clock. So the it would be great if you would share this information and encourage people that you know are in community and philanthropic space to join in. As I share three things that nonprofits can do within the next 7 days that could really just grow their nonprofit. And I wanted to share this because I just came from an interview, and the host asked, what are three things that nonprofits could do right now that will grow their organization? But let me also share that when it comes to growth, we often view growth in terms of speed. And what I am learning as I have been in this space now for a decade, I'm consulting with nonprofits and working with communities in strategic planning and grant writing and fundraising, that you see growth by doing things incrementally. And there are things that you could do that causes uh, an acceleration and a quick acceleration. But as we are looking right now, we're on Facebook, and I'm cross posting this with Zoom. And so while I am here, I'm so glad for Note Summary that I am supposed to be recording this video. Yes. So as I was making my point about Facebook and Zoom, if you remember Facebook, I remember when I first heard of Facebook from my best friend who is now deceased, and she was like, there is a new platform for college students to be able to communicate with one another. And that's how I ended up on Facebook because of her, and her sharing that this was a space for college students only. Now, here we are with the world, and they have taken their model to connect college students, and little by little every year to now it really is the communication tool of the world with billions of people on there when they first started with thousands just on college campuses. And so today I just wanted to share just some things that will help you to see growth, and to also reference that growth takes time. And that is not what we like to hear in this space because we get information so quick. Although, we need to start filtering this information because I'm recognizing that the quicker we receive information, the more flawed it has become. And so growing your nonprofit takes time. Growing your business takes time. Anything, as a mother of five children, I can tell you just from even the physical standpoint that when you hear the news that you are pregnant, I do not want to see my baby in 3 or 4 months. If you're a mother, you're a parent, none of us do, right? Because we know that the earlier the child is born, there are higher risk of underdevelopment, of life, and in having a full life. There's just so many complications come from premature birth. That is the same thing with leadership. There are a lot of things that could happen with premature growth. And so taking things little by little, refining some things will really help you as you do the great work that you are commissioned to do, but also putting some infrastructure things in place. Because at the end of the day, a nonprofit is a business with a heart. It takes systems, it takes leadership, it takes operational tools and software. And I can actually say that learning a lot of this along the way has really been because of amazing clients that I've been able to work with. And so I piece things together, even as a consultant, that I humble myself in knowing that when I work with a new client or work with former clients, that I'm always learning something new. And so I just want to share that with you today on this great Friday. All right. So, and also let me share that this is an unshameless plug that as I will be talking with you today, I will also be sharing some things about the upcoming 8th annual Nonprofit Summit of Northeast Arkansas. I cannot even believe it myself, 8 years. And you know why I'm sharing it? Because it's a part of your growth. It's great to convene with like-minded, like-hearted, like-level leaders that are doing great work like you are and learning from them and being in community with them. It's amazing that I continue to hear that nonprofit leaders are looking for fellow peers. And you don't have to look any further. You can join us on Friday, March 8th at the 8th annual nonprofit summit that will be held here in Jonesboro, Arkansas at the Cooper Alumni Center and on the campus of A State. All right, so let's get to tip number one. If you are watching this, you're more than likely watching me from your personal page, as I'm on my personal page as well. And I've shared this to my business pages. I want to share how important social media engagement is as a nonprofit. People want to see the work that you do. They want to know that you are making impact. And this false humility of doing the private works and not getting, public recognition, you can do that under your own individual, and personal relationship. But once you decided to form a nonprofit organization, you decided to take your passion public. You decided that you also wanted the community to support you in this work because your paperwork stated that you were forming this for a public good, a public charity, under the goals of scientific research, education, social civic engagement, you stated that you would also be utilizing the public to fundraise and that you were going to get a number of your funding resources from the public and other funding sources. You are going to mix what you do with the community support. And so therefore, your silent alms when it comes down to your nonprofit are not relevant. And I say this as a believer, I say this as a woman of God, that if you want to do a lot of great work and don't tell anyone, you can do that each and every day, as we should be doing that individually. But once you decide to convene people and to have people come and support you and build a board and volunteer, you need to make your passion public. So, engaging on social media, sharing about the great work that you are doing in your community, sharing testimonials is relevant and is necessary. And guess what? Most people will look you up on social media before they even Google you. They will go right to Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever their highest level of engagement is with social media, and that's where they're going to try to find you first. And also, while I am here on about social media, this is a bonus for executive directors. I need you to get on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the secret sauce because that's where the grant makers, that's where the program officers, they have LinkedIn profiles and share information on Facebook and Instagram. They want to be human and relaxed and share about their dogs and their puppies and their children and their holiday trips. But on LinkedIn, it's a more professional tone and they're sharing their work and they're sharing about their efforts to support organizations in the community. And so I need you to get plugged in on LinkedIn. And this goes for any career professional. You should be on LinkedIn. All right. Not you should be. You can do whatever you want to do. It is highly encouraged. And I will suggest to you that being on LinkedIn will benefit you in a plethora of ways. All righty. Okay. So social media engagement is um it can be reviewed as something that is distracting. Yes, it can. But anything that you commit your time to do over what you should be doing is a distraction. So you can use things for the good and growth of your organization or your life, or you can go down a rabbit hole and be watching videos and cat videos and all this stuff. Everything has its place, but ensure that you're using it, this free tool. And yes, you can pay for ads and all of this great stuff, which you actually should too. If you have, this is another bonus. I told you that sometimes I can just go, but let me stick your social media as well. It's free, and then they have uh, ads that you can purchase. When you do something that is record breaking or community impacting, or you're getting a lot of feedback, or you're on the news about, I would encourage to boost those posts. That means you can pay for ads $20 and that you can reach more people so that people can see the work of you have if you've received a prestigious award for the work that you do. I would add a little bit more because again, you're not trying to keep your passion a secret. We're making our passion public and we want more eyes and more visibility so that we can increase our fundraising. We can increase attendance on our events. We can increase engagement on our social media posts. So it's an encouragement to you as well to sometimes pay for ads. I think you should. Or if you have a big announcement, a big event, and you're wanting to boost for that engagement, or you're having a silent auction, or an upcoming gala, I definitely would encourage you, or upcoming conference, I would encourage you to boost Facebook ads. All righty. Let's go to point number two. TechSoup. This is actually something I learned from previous clients uh, because as a business owner, I was paying for a lot of things, QuickBooks or Microsoft, and you were just used to paying for those services that you need because they're not offered post-COVID with an asterisk. But typically, they have not been offered for small businesses or business owners. But TechSoup, and that's techsoup.org, TechSoup. TechSoup.org is actually what you can envision that it is a platform and it's a nonprofit itself that has partnerships with other software platforms and technology mediums that they can, and that what they've done is work out to where nonprofits can utilize those services at free to low cost. And so let's just say, for instance, you're renewing your Microsoft, so your Microsoft Office suite, you can go to TechSoup and instead of paying um the $99 or a year or something, I'm just throwing out a figure right now, you may be paying $6 or free if you get the basic plans on some things. And they're aligned with QuickBooks and Zoom, DocuSign, Adobe. Trying to think what else. They may be aligned to Canva at this rate. So but Canva, and that's see, that's another bonus. Canva actually have discount rate for nonprofit leaders at the pro account that you can use. So instead of paying $16 a month, I think it's about $5. And let me put another asterisk that if my numbers, which they probably are off, it's really illustration and just to show you there's discounted rates. And so just please don't come back and at me like I thought you said it was $6 and it's like 8. Okay. I mean, we're living in such a time to put these disclaimers on everything, right? But the point of it is that you can utilize this with TechSoup because on the other side of your passion is the SOPs, right? Your standard of procedure, how you operate. And as I am learning as a consultant and working with wonderful organizations such as yourself, that one of the hindrances to growth is really administrative and operational support. And you can expedite this support truly with the technology. There's a lot of things that talk about Chat GPT and AI, and one of my encouragements to you is not to shy away from technology. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to integrate all things or operate things at the highest level to which they offer, but I definitely would encourage you to save yourself some stress, add some manpower with some tech power, and, if you are used to using Excel spreadsheet, well, if you can utilize QuickBooks and it does all the calculations and statements for you, that's going to be better for you as you fundraise and, set your fundraising goals. So, technology is not a bad thing. It has added so much value in our lives. Again, anything is what you make it. So, TechSoup.org is uh, something that you can apply for, and within 7 days, long as you have the right information, they can verify that you are a tax exempt organization, you answer the questions and all of that good deal, take the time to apply. It will really help you, and then you can begin to also look at the other resources and webinars that they offer so that you won't be afraid of technology. They typically have workshops so that you can learn how to integrate that technology little by little. So don't be intimidated by technology. All righty. Why is integrating technology, getting QuickBooks, or ensuring that you're on social media? Why is this important? Because it's important when you are asking for donations, you are trying to connect with grant funders who will also do a social media scope of your organization. It's critical in being a public representation of the private dollars that you are requesting, because we know that it takes money to make impact. So at the 2024 8th Annual Nonprofit Summit, we're going to dive deeper into that. You may be asking yourself, and if you're not, I'm just going to share the information with you anyways. Who should attend the 2024 Nonprofit Summit? Well, this summit is for every individual that's connected with a nonprofit. One of the things that I see when I attend business conferences or speak at them is that businesses will secure a table and have 6 to 8 individuals from their organization at the business conference. You see nonprofit conferences, you only see the executive director. Why is that a detriment? 63% of you as nonprofit leaders are already saying that you're stressed out, you're burnt out, you don't get the help that you need. On the other side of that is also not including the people that can help you in the same workshops and trainings that you go to so that they can become more efficient in how they help you. The same way that I see businesses send their representatives to business conferences, I'm encouraging you to do that as well. Share this with your board. In fact, it would be great as well for you to pay for your board members. Have 2 or 3 attend with you so that they can hear the same information or hear what you may not hear because you're focused on another aspect of the conference. And then when you get together, you can have a mini retreat on the information that you learn and that you will learn at the nonprofit summit. So this is a great time as well. And let me go ahead and let me put this in the comments uh, about the nonprofit summit. So again, I think it's important to be in community and be in community when you learn, because when you're talking about fundraising or throwing successful 6-figure events, which we will be talking about at the nonprofit conference, then you want to have more people informed with how to do things. We will have breakout sessions that is relevant for every leader at every stage of your nonprofit. So if you are at the startup phase, you're under 3 years established, you have an operational budget under 20,000, we're going to have a working session for you. If you are at the scale up stage to where you're in that middle ground, you're scaling to success, you've been established for about 5 to 10 years, you are encroaching upon the 6-figure mark or have already reached that, you may now have a full-time ED or part-time ED and some established programs and volunteers, whether you're going to want to be in this session. And then we have the soaring session, where this is for our organizations that have been established for 10 years or more. They have multiple 6 figures, are seeing this type of budget regularly. They're working more now on advancing their initiative work and advocacy. They're going to Little Rock now. They're trying to influence policy. We're going to have a working session for you because we recognize that organizations, while you all need to be together as nonprofit leaders, and you already know that we're going to have our leaders roundtable as always, which is a favorite. And to be able to exchange ideas, you also need to be in the room and in a space where you have like level organizations and to be able to work through some things with them. So again, meet us at the 8th Annual Nonprofit Summit uh, on March 8th, 2024. Okay, last tip, and then I need to jump off of here. Even though I've been integrating, so we're really already at tip number 3, but so that I can be truthful, tip number 3, be plugged into newsletters. I, again, am going to be unashamed about sharing that definitely you should be plugged into the Cares Group Consulting newsletter. Why? Because I'm sharing information with you about upcoming grant opportunities, advice about confidence in fundraising, how to work with your board, in any upcoming events and trainings that is going on, or anything I feel that will boost your outcomes as a nonprofit organization. Also, though, there are other organizations such as TechSoup. I think you should be plugged into Philanthropy Digest. I know that that's a great website, and even it's drawing a blank because I didn't have all this list together. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Thank you, Lord. See there. If you are wanting to engage with grant funders, be plugged into their newsletters so that you don't miss how they share success stories of other grantees, what they're looking for to build partnership with nonprofits, things that are going on within their organization. You have to cultivate awareness. And sometimes, again, about that, getting a lot of information. Now we need to filter the right information. You definitely should be plugged into newsletters because you don't have the time, nor do they have the time to answer every question that comes to them. And so most organizations, even such as myself, like to filter things on our social media pages, on our websites, or in our newsletters, so that we can spread the information um, and disseminate that, to everyone in the best format. And going back to TechSoup, that's something that you can also utilize that with MailChimp and different things and reduce rates. So, check that out with TechSoup. But again, be plugged into newsletters. Number one, you can go on consultcaris.com and be plugged into our free newsletter. But again, be plugged into the grant funding agencies. Be also connected to other nonprofit organizations that you admire. There are consultants that are mentors in my head that I have not yet met, but I glean from their newsletters, not to say, oh, I want to be like them, but success leaves clues. What are they doing that have gotten them to their point of to success? And not that I'm trying to replicate their success. I am trying to extract those tools that I can best align with the mission here at Caris Group Consulting to better benefit you as a nonprofit leader. So there are organizations that you might admire right now. Sign up for their newsletter. It's great information that people post in their newsletter. And oftentimes you be the first to hear information that they share in a newsletter that then they share to their social media pages and, or on a news channel or something to that nature. You're more than likely the first people to hear about their upcoming event, or to get tickets first, or to register for something. So it's really good to be plugged in and sign up for various newsletters because there is a wealth of information in there. All righty. So I hope that today you have gained something that you can implement within the next 7 days that will grow your organization. Again, we can want fast success, but sustainable success is in the process. You can look at various things that started in 2020 that are fading out now, because when you are striving to do things, um, real, just you're trying to defy speed. You have models that are showing us how they have taken their time to build platforms. Even now that we're on Zoom, when we first started with Zoom, there was a limited number of minutes. Now they have AI to where you can save your notes, and then you can talk post Zoom and after Zoom at a meeting if you wanted to follow up on something. That wasn't how Zoom started. It was a process to growth. And so I'm encouraging you to do the same. If you even take all three, which I'm encouraging you, you can ensure that you post stories and you share facts and you share great things and you acknowledge donors on your social media page and you align with TechSoup and figure out, how can you reduce some of the funding, that you may have been paying full price for. and to get some of the software with Zoom or Microsoft or QuickBooks on with TechSoup. And if you sign up for newsletters, follow our page and sign up for our newsletter, connect with grant funders that you want to partner with. You will just see how information and the gathering of information, you will know when it's time to use it, or you will be surprised at what you know and how you're growing because you are seeking this right information and being plugged in. It's totally transformational. And I'm telling you that from a personal, spiritual, professional, business standpoint, that connecting and learning about what other people are doing helps you do what you do better. So I pray that you all have an amazing Friday. I know what the weather is saying. If you're watching this in Arkansas, you may be in other places and all the great stuff. And so I just thank God for his grace and covering. And also, just take the precautions without fear, but respect the other professions of weather advisories with your families and with your businesses. And I also hope to see you at the 2024 Nonprofit Summit, not just you. I need to see you and your board members and your volunteers. Empower people that help you with the information that you too receive. It will bless your organization and totally transform the work that you do. All righty. Have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing day and Happy New Year.